my name is Dennis and welcome to a new episode of IT Conversations. I'm here today with Martijn from IGEL. Hi Martijn.
Hi Dennis.
Welcome to our studio. Can you explain something about yourself and the role at IGEL?
Absolutely, thank you. First of all, thanks for having me here today. My name is, as you mentioned, Martijn van Tricht from IGEL. I'm working with IGEL now for a little bit over 12 years. Always been in a more or less technical role and nowadays responsible as business solutions consultant at IGEL. Explaining the solution from IGEL and trying to fit the best workplace for every need.
Good to hear. Can you explain why IGEL is such a great solution?
Yes, of course. IGEL, first of all, is an operating system that will help organizations save money, optimize performance, and increase user experience. And that sounds really great, but what it is a hardware-independent operating system that provides integrations with all VDI integrators that we know of nowadays.
Okay. How can customers benefit from IGEL OS or IGEL Cosmos?
Well, first of all, IGEL will deliver stability for the next several years in your environment on the endpoint operating system. So the operating system itself is hardware independent. It will help you save money by repurposing your hardware, and it will expand the lifespan of your devices. Next to that, the overall solution with Cosmos provides a fluent integration for home workers with an onboarding services and easy deployment of your workplaces.
Okay, but what are the big differences between now and the introduction of IGEL OS 12?
That's a good question. We have OS 12 now more or less since the introduction a little bit over a year. And of course OS 11 was the predecessor from OS 12. And if you look at OS 12, how it's been developed in the last year, we've added a lot of functionality in the form of integrations with partners, with other vendors, with hardware peripherals, the support to make it a lot easier and user-friendly, but also think about, for example, stuff which is not to be forgotten on the workplace nowadays, which is, for example, a progressive web app for Teams. These are all functionalities which are now integrated within OS 12. Next to that, an onboarding service for the management tooling, so a really easy deployment. It's not mandatory to have your devices in your work office, in your work environment, but easy send them to your employees' home. They only need to log in with their email address and devices onboarded within minutes. Those are all improvements on the operating system which benefit of the overall user experience.
Yeah, I think so too. And when a customer gets the laptop at home, he can work straight away.
Yeah.
So that's a real good benefit of iOS 12.
Almost everyone knows his own email address, right?
There should be. But which type of hardware is needed to run OS 12?
That's the great thing of IGEL OS. Almost any hardware can be used for that. Of course, it needs to be an x86 platform, 64-bit architecture, but further, the requirements we have for the operating system are minimum. We require more or less a 4 gig memory and an 8 gig flash, and that's actually because of not the operating system really needing it, but you see more the unified communications coming up nowadays, and that requires a bit of additional memory and sometimes a bit of local extra storage. But the OS itself, a regular device with 4 gig of RAM and 8 gig of mass storage is more than sufficient. Okay.
And if we look to the integrations of IGEL and IGEL OS, ITQ has some vendors that we're working with, like Omnissa or Login VSI or Liquidware. Yeah. How can our ITQ customers benefit from working with IGEL and those components?
The IGEL, what we do on the development part is focus only on the workplace and the integration of, for example, the vendors and the partners you just mentioned. So we stand by a superb integration of, for example, the Omnissa client within the operating system, so that we can offer the functionalities like optimization, offloading, and high user experience to access your apps and your desktops. But besides that, also the integration with the clients like the liquidware, to have the monitoring in place, to be in control of your environment and almost solve issues even before they happen, because you have the integration with all the tools.
Okay, and those agents are built in the software, right?
Yes and no. The agents are available and they can be downloaded through the app portal. So the moment you select them through the app portal, they will be installed in the operating system, and you can build your own OS in that way. So you can select what apps you want to apply to your operating system.
Could you provide some details about how IGEL monitors and gives support to the OS?
Yep, absolutely. Of course, together with the operating system, we provide what we call UMS, Universal Management Suite, which is a very intuitive tooling that allows you to maintain your devices remotely. And of course, you can expect all functionalities like shadowing, like updating your apps, scheduling jobs, for example, making sure that all your devices are up and ready once your employees enter the company. Everything is possible with the management tooling on that part. But also on a management level, you can create reports, views on your devices, how long they have been switched on, or what you have in your environment, and also a delegation of rights. So you can divide the roles for a super admin to a help desk user, for example, with just only shadow functionalities.
I think that's a key benefit of the management solution IGEL provides. Thank you, Martijn, for being here and explaining the IGEL solution. For our viewers, thank you for watching. And if you want to know more of implementing this solution, please contact ITQ, and I hope to see you next time.